I believe in the sun. This morning's scripture reading is taken from 2 Corinthians chapter 4. For God, who said, "Let light shine out of darkness," made his light shine in our hearts to give us the light of knowledge of God's glory displayed in the face of Christ. But we have this treasure in jars of clay to show that this all-surpassing power from God and not from us. We are hard pressed on every side, but not crushed, perplexed, but not in despair, persecuted, but not abandoned, struck down, but not destroyed. All this is for your benefit, so that the grace that is reaching more and more people may cause thanksgiving to overflow to the joy and the glory of God. Here ends our scripture reading.
Would you please bow your heads with me for this morning's prayer? Almighty God, thank you for this day. Thank you for all that we have to be thankful for. We thank you for the men and women who have served in our armed forces. We thank you for our founders, Milton and Catherine Hershey, whose legacy we celebrate today. May we be good stewards of that legacy. May we live the values that were important to them. May we live them out as a community. May we be inspired and motivated this morning. It's in Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Please pray aloud with me the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen.
At this time, may you please stand and join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance and MHS School Pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Physically strong, mentally awake, and morally assured. I will keep my standards high and help others do likewise. In my relations with others, I live by the golden rule, and I speak the truth at all times. I pledge myself to honor and to all I can for the good of my school, my country, and my God. Thank you. Please be seated. And now to welcome our community to the 2024 Founders Day Assembly. Here is President Gert.
Students, last night's Founders Feast was such a great way for us to kick off Founders Week. It has easily become my favorite night of the year. You all looked great. The enthusiasm was extraordinary, and I want to thank you for that as now we kick off this all-school assembly. I'd ask for everyone in the auditorium that if I gave you today $60,000, please stand if you would accept it. Okay, you can be seated. Now please stand if you would give all of that $60,000 to people that you knew and loved. Okay. There you go. You can be seated. Now stand if you would give that entire $60,000 away to people you won't know and would never meet. There you go. I just can't stand. I want to watch your tax returns.
That's fine, that's fine.
Okay, you may now be seated. Now, what if it wasn't 60,000, but it was $60 million? Okay, you may now be seated. So think about this. November 15, 1909, 115 years ago this week, the Hersheys founded Hershey Industrial School, now known as Milton Hershey School. Less than a decade later, they gave their entire fortune to fund the school in perpetuity. At that time, it was valued at $60 million. They didn't give some of it away. They gave all of it away. In fact, Mr. Hershey lived in one room for the remaining years of his life after he funded this school, to generations of children that they did not know and would never meet. What that gift means today is that each of you receive an opportunity to thrive at this very special place, worth a value of $100,000 every year you are a student. Now think about that. Does this financial investment in your education, your emotional well-being, does this now cause you to want to raise the bar for yourself? And if so, what are you choosing to do about it? And if not, what are you choosing to do about it? Our deed of trust is built upon the principle that to whom much is given, much is expected. Mr. Hershey struggled. His father was not a stable figure in his life. He failed multiple times in business as an adult, but none of that stopped him. And when he ultimately succeeded, he felt a responsibility to give a chance to those who deserved opportunity, who found themselves in situations through no fault of their own. Because of our founders, all of us, adults and students, have been given much. But that comes with the second part. Much is expected. Each day, all day, every day. It is no coincidence that Founders Day is so close to Thanksgiving. I give thanks every day that my life was saved and changed by the generosity of Milton and Catherine Hershey. I give thanks every day for the teachers and house parents and staff that loved and cared about me so much that they invested their time in me and demanded I gave my very best. I give thanks every day for the career I have been given at this best home and school on earth. I give thanks every day for each student we are blessed to serve, because I see in each of you a life of significance. There are future doctors, lawyers, entrepreneurs, plumbers, future U.S. presidents, and yes, even Olympic athletes sitting here today. I know in my heart that God's plan for your life will be achieved if we as staff do our jobs and you as students do yours. And so students, I'd ask that, actually adults too, I think this is important, if you could just repeat after me, I have to be here. I want to be here. I get to be here. Imagine. You don't have to repeat after me now. But imagine if each and every one of us, adults and students within this community, wake up every morning saying, I get to be here. What a privilege it is for each and you don't have to repeat. Thank you, elementary students, for paying attention. But it really is that in our minds. I've talked to many students who, I have to be here. And then virtually every student that for some reason gets asked to leave the school because of their behavior, I can count on an email or a letter from them or their parents after the fact, understanding that they wish they would have made better choices and understood what a blessing this school and home has been for them. And so if we wake up every morning simply saying, I get to be here, this community will naturally raise the bar. So throughout this week, think about what you are going to do, students, with this year's $100,000 gift to you. And as always in this world, you get to choose. Thank you.
God is silent.
Good morning. My name is Hayden Klein, and I am a member of the senior class. Each year, an MHS student in every division is chosen to read their essay to honor our founders, Milton and Catherine Hershey, and their thoughts on the school year theme. We will begin with elementary division essay presented by Eden Stover, followed by the middle division essay presented by Zara Bell Williams. Then, I will return to the podium to read my chosen essay for senior division. Eden, please come forward to share your essay on our founders and raise the bar.
This year at MHS, our theme is Raise the Bar. To me, raising the bar means setting new goals when an old goal gets accomplished. This year, I'm going to raise the bar by sticking with something until it is finished. For example, I am going to finish all my books this year no matter what. I love being ahead of the game. When you get your work done, you get to have more choice time, and that is how I'm going to raise the bar as a student here at MHS and in our wonderful community. I can raise the bar at this school by doing what is expected without being asked to do it. This means to me working hard and doing the right thing when nobody's watching. Some goals that I can achieve if I raise the bar at school is going above and beyond with schoolwork to show commitment to mission, not just for Mildalas, but because I am an SGA leader that is here at this school to get a good education, work hard, and help others in this community. I'm here to help others just like Mr. Hershey was here to help us, even though he was going through some tough times. Even though you can't see him, he is here with us in our hearts forever. I can raise the bar in this community by being a leader to others. I can do this by showing the sacred values all the time. Wherever I go, I can use great manners and be kind to others. I can be a good example to others too, and this might help them become better people too. Once again, raising the bar means to me sticking with something until it is finished. At school, I will raise the bar by doing what is expected without being asked. I can raise the bar in my community by treating others the way I want to be treated. This year, I will work hard by raising the bar, and you should too, no matter how hard it is. I believe we can all raise the bar together and become better people to our community, our world, and our school.
A good student takes failure to heart. A better student uses failure to their advantage. My experience so far this school year is best described through the generalized idea of what raising the bar means. I have observed that, like other students, I apply the idea of raising the bar in my life and others' daily life to challenges that we can learn from our schoolwork, relationships, and hobbies, and also through the actions and attitudes that we express. To begin with, some of the ways that I pushed myself and have seen others doing are joining multiple activities. This can challenge us as students because in being involved, we are balancing a lot, and have been given the responsibility of finding time to practice for our hobbies. Though we have improved, my peers and myself have much to work on. What I mean by this is that we all have our strengths and weaknesses. One of my weaknesses may be another's strength. The beauty of this diversity is that we can all learn from each other and also give each other a boost. Overall, pushing ourselves and others to do better is beneficial to our environment. Furthermore, we raise the bar in our schoolwork, relationships, and hobbies by showing pride. The assignments we finish, smiles we give, and also the time we take after school to consistently work. I have noticed others turning in assignments, giving smiles, and even working after school on their sports and instruments. An example of myself is that since basketball tryouts are soon, I've been working to get in practice time after school. To sum it up, we are, in our daily life, raising the bar through pride. Finally, our actions and attitudes are very significant in our goals as students. Being kind creates a positive environment and will push other students to join in raising the bar. On the other hand, being unkind will allow others to create a mental image of what not to be and pushes them away from their goals. Our actions and just how we present ourselves can have a big impact on other students. To conclude, we should be mindful of the way we talk to others and also the problems that can build up with the wrong attitude. Ultimately, there are many ways we can raise the bar as students, including improvement, our work, and also the way we present ourselves. My experience of this school year so far has benefited me with insights from this reflection. As of today, our student body as a whole has seen much progress.
We are our founders' legacy. I am thankful to Mr. and Mrs. Hershey for giving me hope and a hunger for new opportunities to break the cycle of poverty. But my hunger wasn't always fueled by hope. Let me share a story of my life before Milton Hershey School. I hadn't eaten in days. No matter how hard I tried to make my mind blank, I couldn't help but think about every excruciating detail of my surroundings. The t-shirt that hadn't been washed in weeks, the hole-ridden shoes that my feet were nearly bulging out of, the feeling of hopelessness, the longing for a home, for a sense of belonging. However, none of that compared to the hunger. As I sat, taking in my surroundings, it was a scene of summer happiness, a path of tents and campers filled with families enjoying the outdoors. I watched kids throw water balloons at each other without a care in the world. It was a beautiful sight, but that didn't satisfy my hunger. Then I heard my dad's voice. "Come here, Hayden." He was standing over a fire. I was ecstatic when he revealed the frozen hamburgers and hers sour cream and onion chips. He placed the burgers on the stale buns he had managed to get after walking for miles, and as I waited for my 5 younger siblings to get their food, I grinned ear to ear for what felt like the first time in weeks. The burger wasn't good, but it's still my favorite meal ever because for the first time in a long time, I didn't go to bed hungry. After experiencing hunger, the kind that makes you feel like your stomach is consuming itself, I desired a new hunger to drive me. That hunger was hope for a better life. Although there were many more starving days and nights to come, I had hope. Hope that things would get better. Hope that I'd find a place to stay. Hope that I could have a better future. November 27th, 2022, the day my better future became a reality. It was the day I enrolled at MHS. Since that day, nothing has been able to hold me back. I take full advantage of every opportunity that I can and commit to raise the bar every day. Last summer, I interned in the legal department at Hershey Entertainment and Resorts. I'm the vice president of the National Honor Society, and I'm a student ambassador. I'm also waiting to hear back from a long list of colleges and hope to become a lawyer in the future. This wouldn't have been possible without MHS and our founders, Mr. and Mrs. Hershey. Don't get me wrong, adapting to MHS was difficult. I cried every night for the first few months I was away from my family, and I still get homesick sometimes. But I know what I must do. Thanks to the generosity of our founders, I haven't gone to bed on an empty stomach in almost 2 years, but I am still hungry. I'm hungry for more. I'm hungry to end that cycle of poverty. After all, we are our founders' legacy. We must be hungry to embrace the gift to its fullest. Milton and Catherine Hershey passed the mantle to each one of us. As we celebrate Founders Week, I challenge you, my fellow Milton Hershey School students, to be hopeful about your future. commit to raise the bar with pride higher and higher every day, and most importantly, stay hungry to make a change for yourselves and take advantage of every opportunity that MHS has to offer. Thank you.
Good morning, Milton Hershey School. I feel honored to be standing here today with all of you. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Alicia Schlossberg, and this month marks my one-year anniversary here at the Milton Hershey School. Part of why I love my job so much is that every day I get to learn more about the incredible founders who started your school. In creating the Hershey Industrial School in 1909, now called Milton Hershey School, Milton and Catherine Hershey started something truly special. Part of their vision was that they did not just stop with their signatures. Instead, they continued to raise the bar by continuously improving and expanding the school to meet the needs of the community. 20 years after the signing of the deed of trust, tragedy struck when the stock market crashed in 1929. Millions of people lost their savings, leading to chaos in our economy. Banks failed, businesses closed, and by 1933, the unemployment rate reached an all-time high of 25%. Mr. Hershey could have closed up shop to save money, but instead he stood by his commitment to help as many orphan boys as possible and decided to make the first change to the deed of trust in 1933 in response to the Great Depression. In the original deed, only orphans who had lost their fathers were admitted, and the oldest age to enroll was 8 years old. With the change, the enrollment age moved from 8 years old to 14 years old, and any orphan boy who lost either their mother or father would be considered for enrollment. In 1929, when the stock market crashed, there were 242 students at the school. By 1937, only 8 years later, there were over 1,000. Due to the high unemployment rate, many families were looking for a safe place to send their children, and Milton Hershey's new expanded school admission criteria allowed more children to benefit from the school. His initiative to make a change to help others and to meet the moment set a precedent as we continue to grow, expand, and change. One of those boys who benefited from the change was a young 13-year-old William Dearden, who enrolled in 1935 after the death of his mother and went on to become the first and only Milton Hershey School graduate to be the CEO of the Hershey Company. And if you visited Kinder House recently, tell everybody, I challenge you all to be the second. While CEO, Dearden always remembered his alma mater, and he too raised the bar, turning Hershey into the #1 confectionery business in the US. Today, we have continued to expand the school following the legacy of Milton Hershey, and thousands of graduates later, we continue to honor his commitment and generosity. His vision did not end in 1909. It only just begun.
Good morning. Today it is my privilege to introduce a remarkable individual for our Founders Day Assembly. This day, honoring both the legacy of Catherine and Milton Hershey and the spirit of Veterans Day, feels especially fitting for our keynote speaker, Mason Simons, proud graduate of MHS of 2007. Mason's journey is nothing short of extraordinary. Mason enrolled at Milton Hershey School as a 7th grader in 2001, and after 2 years, he came to Student Home Tubman, where I had the honor of knowing him as a house mom for 3 remarkable years. Mason was a standout not only for his talent in wrestling, but for his warmth, his humor, and a smile that could light up any room. He was a friend to many and a young man full of promise. After graduating in 2007, Mason attended Shippensburg University, but it was his deep sense of service that led him to join the U.S. National Guard after his freshman year. In 2009, after completing basic training, Mason's life took an unexpected turn. A tragic motorcycle accident left him paralyzed. What could have been a shattering moment became instead the beginning of an inspiring journey. Through dark times and hard-won triumphs, Mason began to redefine himself, discovering new passions and purpose. Through his faith, his determination, and his pursuit of wheelchair rugby, he found a renewed sense of identity. Mason discovered and excelled in wheelchair rugby, and this summer represented Team USA in the 2024 Paralympic Games, earning a silver medal. He has also committed himself to helping others as a volunteer with Oscar Mike, a nonprofit organization supporting veterans in overcoming personal challenges and pushing past self-imposed limitations. Mason Simons is a proud graduate of Milton Hershey School. He is a Paralympic silver medalist for Team USA. Mason is an honorable veteran of the Army National Guard and a true American hero. Mason is one of my student homeboys. It brings me immense pride to introduce Mason today, not only as an accomplished athlete and veteran, but also as someone who has shown what it truly means to raise the bar and turn adversity into inspiration. Please enjoy the following video and then join me in warmly welcoming Mason Simons to the stage.
I was an angry kid, you know, I had a really rough life growing up. Seen and been through a lot of things that kids my age shouldn't have been through. Wrestling was kind of my escape. So much, you know, again, resilience in a wrestling match, you know, determination not to lose in front of your, you know, your brothers and sisters, you know, because of that loyalty. I remember when I was younger here at Milton Hershey School, I was at this all-school assembly, and we had a speaker come, and it was Christopher Reeves. He used to play Superman, but it was in a horsebacking accident that made him a quadriplegic. And for like a week, I thought about that, and that was one of the pivotal times in, you know, my high school transition. You know, it's like, don't take things for granted. Don't be lazy. You know, do what you need to do, and don't complain about it, but do it. May 15th of 2009 was the day that I wrecked my motorcycle. I was on my way and my back wheel had slid out and my front wheel hit a pothole, and I kind of high-topped over. And when I high-topped over, I flew into mailboxes, and when I did that, my spine hyperextended and went back into place. So there's a lot of trauma to the spinal column itself. I believe everything happens for a reason, and I wrecked my motorcycle. And that put me in a different path and different journey. To me, determination is having your mind set on something. And no matter how bad it gets, how hard it gets, how depressed, how, you know, unmotivated you are, or something comes along in that pathway that takes you away from that, but you still see it. The purpose of life is greater than what you anticipate, greater than what you know. Wheelchair rugby is an adaptive athletic sport that is pretty much taken between rugby, basketball, soccer, and football. And it's completely full contact. The only wheelchair sport in the world that is full contact. You get out there in the chair and you just want to go around and bang and just hit people and flip people. And this is the first year that we were a part of a team that won the national championship. I played for Austin, Texas, otherwise known as Texas Stampede. You know, it's completely changed my life around. Being a Spartan to me, this tattoo, you know, it means to me, even when the odds are against you, you don't back down. Never accepting defeat, adapting and overcoming, go hard or go home. You fight for what's right, for the greater cause, because life isn't just about you. Life's just begun. You know, it's a journey, and it's not a journey you plan, but it's how you make it. It's what you make of it. You know, you can't change where you came from, but you can change where you're going. What I want people to think about me is that is a man who's gone through hell and back and not once took his eyes off of his dreams, his aspirations, and his goals. And no matter what's thrown his way, he adapts and overcomes. A go-getter, you know, on the move. Spartan.
Milton Hershey School, how we doing? I'm gonna try that again. How we doing? All right, that's great. I'm gonna need your help. If you're a veteran, can you do me a favor and stand real quick? Stay standing, stay standing. On the count of 3, we're gonna say USA, 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 and then stop. And this is out of appreciation for what y'all have done. Our freedoms are only freedoms because of you. I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. Y'all ready? 1, 2, 3. USA, USA, USA. Thank you. I appreciate y'all. It is an honor to be here. I have to be honest, I just competed in front of millions of people, and I'm more nervous to talk to y'all than I was competing in the Paralympics, because this means something to me. I used to sit where you sit. I remember sitting right over there in that section when Christopher Reeves was here, looking up on stage and thinking to myself, man, that would stink. I don't remember a thing he said, I just remember the visual. The guy's in a wheelchair, he's sitting there, he couldn't really talk, he had a trach in, but that was so impactful. So I hope I can do a little bit more than that, and something that I say to you sticks with you. So as you heard, I work for a nonprofit called Oscar Mike, and what we do is we help disabled veterans by challenging them to push them past their limits or what they thought their limits were. We teach them how to fly planes, and the next day we throw them out of a plane. We go skydiving, off-roading, triathlons, you name it, we do it. It's a complete humbling experience each time someone comes through that has served our country that has less than something that I have, whether they're a triple amputee missing 3 limbs, or they're blind or deaf. They all have such a great attitude, and I'm just grateful that I get to be a part of that and make an impact on their lives as they make an impact on mine. If you haven't noticed, I play wheelchair rugby for Team USA. I was thinking on how I can portray to you the experience it's been to get to Team USA. The goal wasn't to make Team USA. The goal wasn't to go to a Paralympics. The goal was to win a gold medal. And I came short. We as a team came short. The goal was gold. The journey, however, was nothing more than miraculous. Appreciating your teammates, what they sacrifice. You guys can relate to your teammates here, your fellow students, your teachers, what they give into it. The journey was absolutely amazing. But while I was thinking on how I could portray to you what it took to get to that level, I started thinking, and I couldn't think of anything other than to give you a timeline of basically my career. So in 2000, I got to read this because I forgot about things. So in 2012, I was invited to a military appreciation camp. The team was preparing to go to London for the Paralympics. I was about 305 pounds at the time. I got an award for a big hitter, and that's all it took. I'm like, I can do this. Well, I was wrong. In 2014, I made the USA developmental team, sorry. 2015, I was cut from the USA team. This video was in 2016, just for a timeline. 2016, cut shortly after that video. 2017, cut. In 2017, my best friend, Stacey Cabrera, also a Milt, pulled me out of a dark time when I was addicted to pain meds after my motorcycle accident. In 2017, he passed away. And he was one of my whys. He was one of my reasons that I'm still here today. In 2017, my stepdad, AKA my dad, he passed away. At this point in time, I was ready to retire. You know, I felt like I was missing time away from my family. I was losing people, and it was hitting me pretty hard. 2017, cut. 2018, cut. 2019, 2 months before Tokyo Paralympics, I was at a developmental camp. I was killing it, best rugby of my life. I go to transfer, I fell out my chair, literally this high off the ground, and I snapped my leg in half. Everything I worked for, cut, 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 cut. This is the year, this is the year. Snap my leg. 2020, cut. 2021, I made the USA national team. 2022, I tore my shoulder, right? You get there, nope. 2022, cut from the world championship team. Working, I'm getting there, nope, not yet. 2023, made Team USA again. This is where it gets fun. 2023, broken left pinky, had to get 6 pins put into it. I was septic, which is a full body blood infection. Was in the hospital for 2 weeks, had a week break, went to training camp, played with the cast. Came back, hospital again, went back and played with the cast. Tip of my middle finger, 2023, got cut off. I was in the gym, I was lifting, an 85-pound dumbbell fell, sliced it right off. I saw it fly through the air, it was kind of funny. And then I leaned forward and I passed out. Right hand, broken finger, had to have pins put into this finger. Right shoulder, torn subscapularis tendon. 2024, Paralympic silver medalist. The reason I am telling you this is because if you want something, or you see something, or you have a vision, you have a why, chase it, go after it. You're gonna fail more than you succeed, I promise you that right now. I fall out my chair probably 3 times every other 2 days. Like, you're gonna fall, just get back up and keep going. Your dreams, your vision, it's not gonna be easy, I can promise you that. You're gonna think about quitting, you're gonna think about giving it in, changing your vision. If you have a vision, you have a vision. Stick with it. When you are successful, stay away from complacency. If you don't know what complacency means, it means satisfaction. Don't be content with the success that you have achieved, because it will only keep you under the bar. And we're trying to raise the bar, right? My cheat codes for raising the bar are as follows. You need a why. You need a purpose. Whether that's your family at home, whether that's you want to be an Olympic sprinter, whether, for me, my family and loved ones passing away, you need a why. You need to be disciplined to your craft. Where are my wrestlers at? Where are my wrestlers at? Are y'all doing 50 push-ups, 100 push-ups before y'all go to bed? That's what I want to hear. I will. That's what I'm talking about. Outstanding. The third one, effort. You can't show up to practice, you can't show up to class and give 25, 50%. You have to give everything you have. And I promise you, if you give everything that you have, at nighttime, you're going to sleep like a champ, you're going to feel like a champ. Number 4, perseverance. When things aren't going your way, you dig down, you dig deep, and you keep going, you keep fighting, right? Spartans don't quit. You keep going. You need a vision. A vision puts it all into perspective. It's something that when you go to bed at night, it's almost hard to fall asleep because you can't stop thinking about it. You're that locked in. You need a vision. And the last one is the golden rule. You have to treat others with kindness. You have to do unto others as you wish others would do unto you. There's going to be days where someone else is chasing their vision, their why. Maybe they broke a finger or they just got cut. You don't know what everyone else is going through, so treat others with respect. And I promise you it will get you a long way in life. I have 2 quotes that I want to read. Average leaders raise the bar on themselves. Good leaders raise the bar for others. Great leaders inspires others to raise their own bar. Second quote. Once in a rare while, somebody comes along who doesn't just raise the bar. They create an entirely new standard of measurement. To me, that's Milton Hershey. He raised the bar. He dared to be great. He strived for excellence. And because of our founder, you and I all have had immaculate opportunity. Please take control of it, own it. I didn't always do that, and looking back, man, I wish I would have. I'm still here in front of you, telling you, take the opportunity. Mr. Gert, you said 50-some million kids? 50-some million kids that could be sitting here, but you are. It is a gift. It is a gift. I'll leave you with one last quote, and this is something that me and Team USA have spoken about, which is kind of ironic because we're talking about raise the bars. Anyways. Oh. Hold on. Okay, I'll leave you with one last quote. We don't have a choice. I think we have an obligation to change the rules, to raise the bar, to play a different game, and to play it better than anyone has any right to believe is possible. It's been an honor to speak here. I'm extremely grateful to be a part of this family. This medal, every single one of you was on my mind when I was in Paris. Before every game, I'd take 2 minutes. I'd think about my grandmother, the people that have passed away, all the kids here that never had dreams and now they have dreams. I'm here to tell you, you can do it. Dig down. Remember your why, and you'll be fine. Raise the bar. Thank you.
Mason, we are so appreciative of your time this weekend, yesterday with our seniors, today with all of us, and most appreciative for your message and your journey. You really are the ultimate Spartan. Let's thank Mason once again. Also, please thank all of the students that had a role today in the assembly, our musical performers, our essay winners, our pledge leaders. For me, every day feels like Founders Day, but there is something very special about this week that unites us all as a family. And going back to what I said earlier, I have to be here gives the impression that somehow somebody else is responsible for your success or your happiness or your choices. I want to be here is the self-talk that allows you to own your own choices, to own your own success. I get to be here means you are locked in, driven by a sense of gratitude that there is no other choice than to succeed. And so I hope that each and every one of us every day continue to create that habit of self-talk, to say, I get to be here. After this morning's assembly, the great class of 2025 will plant a tree as an expression of their gratitude for what Milton Hershey School has done for them. This has been a long-standing tradition on our Founders Day Assembly. And today's assembly, as honored by Mason, it happens to fall on Veterans Day, and we also want to thank those of you who have served or continue to serve our country, and we express our deepest gratitude for that. And so before we sing our alma mater, an assembly would not be complete without, it is a Raise the Bar Day. We will. We will. We will. Yes, now please stand as we sing with pride our alma mater.
Good morning, everybody. Please be seated. As we work through dismissal this morning, please remain seated until you've received all instructions. At this time, we invite our senior class of 2024 to exit to the porte cochere. Oh, I was seeing if you were awake. 2025. 2025, please exit to the porte cochere to meet Mrs. McConnell for the tree planting ceremony.